Okay. Just. All right. All right. Let's hope this goes well. Okay. So. Okay. Not bad. Okay. uh. Hello, YouTube. My name is 30, and this is a series I call "Does It Suck?" in which I'm going to try to answer the very important, blunt question: does this anime or manga suck or not? Is it worth your time? Who knows? Okay? Jujutsu Kaisen is an anime and manga series created by this guy, or I don't know, girl. His picture is like a little cat, so I'm not really 100% sure. His name is Akutama, Akutami. That began serialization in Weekly Shonen Jump in late 2018, and it tells the story of Yuji Itadori, a teenager who becomes embattled in a world of the supernatural after becoming a vessel for this super demon guy, god guy, after he eats a finger. Yeah. Actually, okay. There's more to it, but paraphrasing it that way just kind of like shows how weird and strange this story is. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Man eats a finger, super demon thing. I'm sure maybe there's some cultural connotation to that. Maybe in Japan there's a story of a dude like he ate a finger of a mermaid or something. I don't know. Who knows? But okay, whatever. Let's get into it. So a little background, okay? There are things like background. There are things called cursed spirits, which are the manifestation of negative human emotions, and they get this human form sometimes. But this so someone gets like super mad and then creates a bunch of like they call it cursed energy, and then like it makes a little volcano guy. I don't know, this guy. Volcano Man. He's one of the cursed spirits. Whatever. This cursed energy that makes up these cursed spirits are also used by humans who are called JUJUTSU sorcerers in order to fight them, so they don't totally own everybody. In the story, a long time ago, there was some super Chad sorcerer guy named Ryomen Sukuna, who is the super evil demon god who I mentioned earlier. His Chad energy was so powerful that it took like every other sorcerer to beat him up, and even then they couldn't beat him up completely, and for some reason they couldn't crush 20 fingers, so now there's like 20 fingers survived, and so they decided to seal them in wax in this little like toilet paper thing. And now, super far in the future, there's a bunch of cursed spirits trying to get all these fingers back together in one spot to revive Super Chad demon spirit Hitler. It's pretty standard face value. Super ancient evil guy was so powerful he somehow got defeated, and now a bunch of like smaller evil guys are trying to bring their evil daddy back to beat up all the people that they don't like. It's like the most basic shonen formula, but doesn't mean that Jujutsu Kaisen is not special in its own way. I just think that it's, gotta get into a little more. So the setting of Jujutsu Kaisen is essentially modern Japan, but with like a spooky twist, Cursed energy is like all around, it hyper concentrates in areas, but I think it's generally all around. And there's like the sorcerers are kind of like a secret society. I don't think modern humans really know. I mean, maybe they speak of it in like whispers, whatever cult forms. I don't know. Maybe it's not a secret. I honestly don't remember. But from how it looked in certain parts of the series when they did supernatural stuff in the real world, the people looked like they didn't know what was going on. So I'm gonna assume it's secret. I don't actually know. But basically, the entire story takes place in modern metropolitan Japan, but spooky. Okay, if you've read any shonen that takes place in modern Japan, you've seen all the locations before: subway tunnels, Shibuya, a mountain training location. That that old chestnut. It all rings the same, sort of generic, but I'll get into it later, but I feel like the art really helps differentiate Jujutsu Kaisen from being this sort of also ran generic thing, right? So now we gotta get on into these characters. Now, before I start, okay, there's a ton. There's so many characters in this. Like, they introduce people left, right, and center, and you look at the people and you think like, okay, this guy's not gonna be very important. Turns out super important later. So I can't get into everybody. I'm just gonna go through the main people that I remember and the people that I like. If I don't like them, if I don't remember them, I'm gonna skip them. That doesn't mean they're not cool. Just didn't really do it for me. Gotta be honest. Okay, so be lazy here and just do the ones that are important or I like. First up, protagonist himself, Yuji Itadori. He's Naruto. Literally, he's an orphan, powerless at the start. He has an incredible ancient evil sealed inside of him. I believe literally at one point he makes a contract, like speaks to the ancient evil guy that's trapped inside of him after he eats his finger. But what saves him is the more realistic portrayal of the shonen protagonist. And then I mean by that, like, he gets angry, but not that kind of like, mindless, blah, like it's part of the story, and then he overcomes it, and then it's like, okay, well, he touched the bad side. Now he knows what really matters. No, he gets mad. He doesn't feel the need to try to redeem his enemies. He doesn't talk them out. He doesn't be like, hey man, maybe you should come to ours. No, I mean, the enemies in Jujutsu Kaisen aren't really the kind that you could sort of redeem. I think they're, I mean, by virtue of them being amalgams of negative human emotions, very few. There are a couple that get redeemed later, but they're not, it's not the main ones. He's not like, he's not trying to turn these people to his side, basically. I mean, I don't really think that you can redeem people that are trying to resurrect Demon Hitler, but whatever. But Demon Hitler also happens to live inside of him. I don't hate the character. I just don't think he's super unique. I think he's kind of incidental. When the series starts, he's sort of like a reflection of the reader. Like, he just gets into the cursed world or whatever, and everything's all new to him. They gotta explain it, so that's their exposition dump. He goes on to be, he's fine. He's just fine. He's okay. He's not terrible. He's not offensively annoying. He doesn't have like a catchphrase. Not bad. Okay. Next we have Magumi Fushigura. So, like I said earlier, if Yuji is Naruto, Megumi obviously is Sasuke. It's not quite so cut and dry as I feel like Yuji is with Naruto, but he still is kind of basically the same character. He was born into the sorcerer life. His family is like super old sorcerer money. They're some ancient clan of super demon fight guys, whatever. He's more interesting than Sasuke, though. He isn't the kind of character who feels trapped by and burdened by the responsibility of his family, which I always hate. I hate that. I hate where it's like the entire character's sort of arc is that their family is super mean to them and they can't escape her. I know it's not, I don't know, I hate that, but he's not that kind of character. Okay. His personality is very easy to understand. He likes to save good things and he kills bad things. He likes good guys. There's a part where Itadori Yuji is going to be executed, and he goes out of his way to save him just because he saw good in Yuji. Cool, he's fine. I like his design. His powers are cool. His little summon things, I think that's awesome. Super unique. He's not as overpowered as a lot of the other characters. I know he does eventually get some overpowers, but it's not like things in Jujutsu Kaisen come with a price. And I think that Megumi's sort of interaction is interesting. It's interesting the way he has to summon these things, whatever things he has to give up. Yeah. He's cool. He's a fine character. Next up, Nobara Kugisaki, who is, I guess, as I'm making this video, I'm realizing that Jujutsu Kaisen is very much Naruto-esque. It was weird to say, and I just mentioned two Naruto characters. There's like a team of 3 people. They have a teacher, whatever. So it's basically Team 7. Nobara is not like Sakura, right? I mean, I think she's super cool, right? She's sassy. She's super bold. She's super realistic. She talks smack. She's so well written for a female character written by a man. She doesn't get as much hype as the two main characters. Obviously, it's a shonen series. You can't expect much from the main female lead. And in fact, there's not a ton of other sort of super notable female characters. There's tertiary characters, other kids in the school, but she's like the main one. I think her powers are super cool. Later in the series, she gets done like super crappy, like super dirty. I don't know. Maybe I'm not caught up with the manga fully, so I don't know. Maybe after that, she gets some props. But I don't like what they end up with her. Yeah, I don't know. I just think she's awesome. She's probably honestly one of my favorite characters in the series. I think her powers are cool. I think her powers are unique. I think her design's a little plain, but I don't really mind that. Not every character needs to be super striking visually. I think that her plainness sort of juxtaposed with someone like Gojo, who I'm going to get to, or, even Magumi with his cool big collars. Yeah, I don't know. She's fine. She's cool. She's awesome. I like her a lot. She gets 2 thumbs up right away. Even if I think the series should be about her. I think she's super cool. 2 thumbs up. She's like Sakura Hermione. Sakura Hermione. I guess next I'll talk about the big one here. Satoru Gojo. Hold on, okay? I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. I feel it. Depending on how this video goes and how many people see this, I'm not 100% sure. I just know that if this channel continues further and gets any sort of notoriety, I'm gonna eat so much crap for this. But I think Gojo is just okay. All right, hear me out, okay? We have seen this exact same character like 2,000 times before, but unlike Yuji and Megumi, who we've also seen like 2,000 times before, there's not really anything different about him. He's like the wisecracking, powerhouse, mysterious, endlessly powerful teacher character. His design is super striking. It's super unique. He's got a blindfold on. They explain why he has a blindfold on. He has super special eyes. I mean, it's... When he fights somebody, you don't ask yourself like, oh, is he going to win? It's, what you ask yourself is, how cool is it going to look when he kills this guy? And oftentimes, like, yeah, it's super cool, but I just, it's so obvious. The character is never in any danger. And Jujutsu Kaisen is a series where oftentimes characters feel like they're in danger, except for him. He's the only one who you don't worry about. And even times they make it look like you should be worried about him, 2 chapters later, it's like, oh, actually, he has another superpower that literally destroys matter in front of him when he flicks. Like, what? All right, like, okay, I get it. He's the cool guy. He's like end of series. I keep going back to Naruto. He's like end of series Sasuke mixed with Kakashi, in one super mega Chad character. I think he's just fine. A lot of people love him. He has a lot of fan art. He has a lot of AMVs. He has a ton of media out there for all you fans. He's definitely the standout character for the series. Don't hate me. Okay, don't hate me. I know you love him. I know you think he's super cool. He's fine. He's fine, but he's not my favorite, okay? Now, time to get into some, I guess I'm going to get into the antagonists here. So, the big one is Ryomen Sukuna, who is the thing that lives inside our protagonist, who is the evil, cursed spirit Hitler guy. He used to be a sorcerer, and then he died, and then he had so much evil energy that he became a super cursed spirit. I don't know if he gets murdered. I don't know, whatever. This might be a bad review because I don't really pay too much. Anyway, regardless, okay, he is the evil thing that lives inside the main character and the ancient evil from which main character guy draws his power from. His character is that he's evil. He's, he likes any evil thing you could think of. Any sort of super, any evil thing you could ever want to do, he's done it and wants to do it to you over and over again. He's super powerful. He knows he's powerful. He loves to flex on whoever, even his own flunkies who are trying to revive him. He flexes on them hard. He doesn't have an allegiance. Like, he's trying to be revived by people, but he doesn't really care about the people. He has his own plans, his own motives. He doesn't need them. Yada yada yada. Whatever. Master string puller guy. He's fine. Sure. Like, there's no real other way you can write his character. I'm sure maybe eventually there'll be some. I hope they don't do the Naruto thing where it turns out he's actually a good guy, and mad long ago he was betrayed by the real evil guy or something. Don't do that. Don't do that, Mr. Akumati, whatever. Author. Don't do that, cat author. Do not do that. Just have him be evil. Just why can't there be evil guy? Why can't he just be the evil guy? And he's just evil. It's fine. Some people are evil. Oh, whatever. So next, Mojito, I think. Mojito, probably, but he sounds like Mojito. He's a cursed spirit who is part of a group alongside another guy who I'm going to get to later. That is basically trying to kill every normal human and replace them with sorcerers. He's a spirit though. I don't know why, because this plan that they're doing would essentially destroy every cursed spirit, but I don't know. These cursed spirits are sort of all over the place with their motives and their sort of personalities. They're sort of they're like subhuman-ish. I don't know. They're cool. They're fine. I'm only really bringing him up because he's the antagonist that grows alongside the main cast, right? He's recurring. He gets stronger. He levels up when they do. He uses one of the same abilities as the main character. He's the always present, like, attainable roadblock in their path. The other bad guys they super outclass. Like, the power levels are super out there. Like, it's ridiculous for the main cast to fight against some of these guys. But Mojito is the one that they sort of, he's the bad guy that's growing too, so they fight and they get stronger. He's the whetstone. He's the sharpening stone. His design is cool. He looks like Stein from Soul Eater with the stitches all over him. I always liked Stein. I thought he was cool. He doesn't have the big thing in his head though, which is a big negative. His personality is weird. People like that. I like that. He's a cool character. Thumbs up. And then Suguru Geto, who is like, this guy is super confusing to me. Spoiler alert again. I'm sure I did one at the beginning, but spoiler alert again. I don't know where the anime is, so I don't know. But I'll try not to talk too much about it. He's super confusing. So besides Sukuna, he's like the main antagonist at the start of the series, Geto. He leads the group that of cursed spirits that Mojito is a part of, and he wants to kill all the humans in the world, even though he's human. Just normal humans. Sorcerers are okay, I guess. But if there's no people, then there's no evil spirits, and if there's no evil spirits, then who cares about sorcerers? Like, I don't know. It's a little. It's not super well explained. He wants to prevent the creation of cursed spirits, which is like, he does it in the super obvious way by killing all the people. He's one of those villains you're supposed to think has a point. You're supposed to be like, oh, well, it's true that, the cursed spirit's pretty bad, so maybe it would be better to kill all the humans. Think about the combined suffering throughout the aeons of cursed spirits killing people, and you could stop that by murdering like 4 billion people. So I mean, yeah, it's whatever. He's a tragic past, it goes into it in the series. I don't know if the anime's gotten there, so maybe light spoiler alert. I don't know. Um, he used to be a good guy. Whatever. He used to be, I guess, the Sasuke to to Gojo's Naruto. Once again, bring it back to the Naruto. I don't know. He's fine. A lot of fine in this review. There's a lot of things that are fine, but the culmination of a bunch of these fine things, I feel like, makes the series what it is. I appreciate his design. I love the Buddhist monk, evil guy look. Not bad. Not bad. And then, of course, we get to the real main character. My man Panda. Panda is cool. He is a panda. He fights for what's right, truth, and justice. Also, he's a panda. I like him. I know he's not really a panda. Oh, wait. But he's cool. Is it a she? I don't know. Is it a girl? I don't know. Whatever. They're cool. It's a cool character. I like it. Super funny. The comic relief, super cool. Big fan. Like Panda. Like I said before, there's a ton of characters, and they're all distinct and cool, and I'm sure I missed your favorite one. I know I didn't miss my favorite one, because Panda is right here. But we have more pressing issues now. The main thing I want to get into here is the art. I love the art in the series so much. So much. I don't really read the manga. I don't really read manga in general. I don't really have the patience to wait, for anime. It's a lot of dialogue, whatever. Manga I can, scroll through on my tablet really quickly. And I'm not even all the way caught up. When it comes to the anime, I watch the fights that I like. Obviously Gojo versus Volcano Boy, whatever, things like that. And the anime art is super cool, but I want to focus on the manga art because it's dripping, oozing with like style and character, and it's so cool. It has like a sketchy sort of like free-flowing style that gives a lot of motion to static panels. Akumari isn't afraid to distort and twist his characters into unusual ways to give them an even more free-flowing sense that a lot of other authors try to avoid for whatever reason. Like, I don't know if it's to preserve the distinct outline of the brand. They don't want to mess up their characters too much. I don't know. A lot of authors don't do the weird contorting, twisting, sort of free-flowing motion that this author does. Despite how I feel generic and obvious the story is, I kept reading it for the art. I love the art. I think it looks super awesome. I think the fights look awesome. I think the powers look awesome. It's a big thing in anime and manga for me, especially shonen. You gotta have cool looking powers. You can't be some boring, corny crap. Like, it can't be Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail was boring to me because it was just big fireballs all over the place. Whatever. Fairy Tail, I don't like Fairy Tail. But Jujutsu Kaisen, stylistic. The big space zones that people, the domain, I think the domain they call it or whatever. People's domains are super awesome. Gojo's domain is awesome. Volcano Guy's thing is awesome. Sukuna's domain thing, his evil shrine thing, awesome. Super cool. 2 big thumbs up. Love the art. Jujutsu Kaisen is part of this new breed of shonen series, this post Naruto and Bleach world. One Piece is still there, but One Piece I feel like will never end. I know Oda says, I'm like 2 years out. No, I don't believe it. I don't think One Piece is ever gonna end. And that's fine, it doesn't have to. But Jujutsu Kaisen is this sort of evolution of shonen. And I feel like it takes a lot of risks with the action, the storytelling, maybe not so much the like plot of the story, but like there's a lot of twisting, gnarled deaths and things like that. Things you normally wouldn't find in like a weekly Shonen Jump series. And I'm surprised that Jump actually like put this one out. When you compare it to other older Jump series, Gintama, things like that, like totally different. It looks way more seinen than I ever thought would ever come out of Shonen Jump. The story is like super obvious, but I don't feel like that's necessarily a bad thing. It tells the story, it tells well, and there's enough action and characters to latch onto that makes it easy to feel a connection with them I know most of you love Gojo, but my real ones out there love Panda. Real ones like Panda, hashtag whatever. The world feels like realized and lived in. It doesn't feel like, it feels like when you read it, it feels like you're in it. You're not looking through the window of the panel. You're in the panel. You know, you're there. I feel like I'm there. I feel like I can touch things, sense things, smell things, whatever. It feels lived in. It feels realized. You know, and I also feel like the story doesn't rely on these cheap twists and like boring reveals. You know, I hate that in series. I hate when a series will all of a sudden just twist out of nowhere. You know, same thing happened in Naruto with Obito. Don't tell me that it was obvious that it was Toby, because it was not. I realized I might have just spoiled some Naruto things that happened like 10 years ago. I don't care. That was cheap. That was lame. I did not like that. Anyway, I realize this is a critique on Naruto, but it's about JUJUTSU Kaisen. Sorry, but taking it back to the start. To answer the question from the beginning of this video, JUJUTSU Kaisen, does it suck? Nah, it's pretty good. If you're looking for something to fill the weekly void in your life, read the manga. If you can wait for long periods of time while that void eats away at your soul in order to watch a season of the anime and glorious blissful animation, then I think it's well worth your time. Man, this is a hell of a first episode. Be sure to check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/30sucks, where I stream some games I'm terrible at. I'm actually not, I'm a good judge of what sucks because I in fact suck. Maybe on Instagram, where I post gym-related stuff, also suck at that. Or some other stuff right here on YouTube, where I'll keep answering the question, does this anime suck or what? All right, I gotta go work on the Chainsaw Man episode. Spoiler alert!